morning, class. Welcome to Homeroom with Unk and Market Monk.
Morning, P. How's your week?
One of my better weeks just because of LLY. But yeah, that was kind of a monster. I got in the kind of an overall healthcare weight loss thing, and did well on NVO. It dropped like 4% pre-market Monday. Just grabbed it then. Kind of recovered all week. Hiking did well, but then yeah, LLY just had a pivot there. Had some options. Rest is history. So the monster week. Spent the most of the rest of the week just kind of going light and not wanting to give anything back.
Nice. Yeah, it's kind of a weird uptrend bull market for me where you're parking and waiting stuff and then you're scalping for the smaller percent, which that usually used to be the other way in the last bull market. So
Yeah.
I'm adjusting to that kind of well. And um, the to be honest, kind of feel like I missed a big part of doing that in trying to stay with my normal system. But again, I'm not fighting. I'm gonna say it every week. I'm not fighting it. Not fighting this bull market, and I'd rather figure it out late than not figure it out at all. But nailing some of these smalls, man. Like I don't know what to say. Like get your sizing right and watch for when I post. I don't post for fun in the room, so um,
Yeah.
just the timing of on again, off again. Plug was a good example this week. I mean, we didn't mention it for 3 months, and then comes back in the room, and you get a 50% move out of it. And yeah, just what a time to be alive. Only one I got on that weight loss side was the probably the crappiest one of it all. And another thing I'm trying to work on too is buying the shares of those bigger names, even if they are a little expensive. Um, I mean, because like Lily's a good example. We kind of both agree it's $1,000 stock, and
Yeah.
a good price at 600-700 bucks.
No, right. App was the same way. I mean, it just it works share side. You just have to kind of mentally take a zero off of it, and that's it's moving like a stock price that way.
the
And
last
but it's
the last two I got, P, but again, they're Mag 7. So I guess that's like I
yeah,
can't think of the last one I didn't get that was Mag 7 like that, but Netflix and then
yeah.
the Apple 195. But those good we talked about a few weeks ago, like good companies, that's you only get a couple chances to buy them. And the B pluses are that way too in a good setup.
Yeah, and I on LLY share side the first time I did it, it was mostly fractional shares. It was in the 400s at the time, and I was just every week. It was just to treat it like a bill. At the time, it was I said it was Microsoft, UNH, and LLY, and that was UNH before this last collapse and recovery, and it was like its first big run up.
Yes.
And I was just like, I think these are the three best stocks in the market. I'm just piling into them, and yeah, and that worked really well. The going share side on some of these bigger names off the option pivots kind of is just about for me staying in the trade, using the work. I don't care if it's some huge deal. If I make 150 bucks out of it, I'm glad I'm still in it. It's because you can't stay in the options that well. It's
Yeah.
I had one. I stayed in one on LLY on that 9% day, but it was only because I sold four out of the five from the day, from the day before
Sure.
into the morning. So,
It's free.
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, if
it's
there's a
free.
free option, that's kind of how you have to do it. And I don't think we talk about that enough. Is on the share side, like we talk about start taking your free shares even at like 10%. The option, it's completely flipped. Like you have to sell 90%, whereas the
Yeah,
share side you can
yeah.
keep 90%. And kind of scale out slowly, and you really can't. You don't have that luxury on the options. I mean, it's goofy foot, so to speak.
I mean the yeah, especially early in the morning. If a stock like LLY pops 1.5 to 2% just in 10 minutes or less, those premiums are so juiced that you're not going to you're not likely to recover that current price of that contract because you're going to get a pullback. Might be very small, but even so. that very small pullback and retrace, when it retraces to where you just were, that contract is not worth the same amount of money.
You lost the time.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's $100 less or something like that. So you have to sell on that first spike. Yes, you can re-enter. I mean that if you're gonna just if get out of it and you think it's gonna move up all day, yeah, that's what you do. But no, you cannot hold and hope. You take your money, say thank you, um and move on.
That might be the one of the biggest deterrents for me from option trading is that I mean, I'm gonna just throw random numbers out, but if I identify a contract, and maybe it's like say a monthly or something, I'm doing it that way, or 2 weeks out. That price, I'm like on Monday, I'm gonna trade, the $300 contract, hopefully to 400 or 500, 600 if I win, 1,200 if I really win. But that same contract by Wednesday is gonna be like I'm gonna be trading it like 80 to 150, or I'm going to be trading it like 700 to 1100, and that
Yeah.
constant change of the price is just so foreign to the way I like to trade. And like, 'cause, I mean, we talk all the time, and um, I kind of have the Rain Man aspect. Like, you'll say a stock, and I'll just say the price, right? Like, oh, that's going to be
Yeah.
703, and I just don't have that. I can't use that ability on the option side.
Right. Yeah, I know, and I think it's kind of an important point too for for people in the room, people on the fence about options. Um, you could trade options, and you could make a lot of money doing it. 100% you could because the setups that we work on, those do work on the option side. Uh, but you know, it comes down to the change your style thing. So why would you? You don't need to do it, right? I, on the other hand, like I came from options, was too heavy into options. Like at the expense, even doing fine, you're missing too much if you're not trading
Yeah.
shares. So
Oh yeah.
I scale it way back. It's compartmentalized. My option notes that I put in the morning, that's what I'm looking at, and it's pretty much only early in the day, and then maintenance on the other stuff. So it's overnight, early in the day, and then that's I'm mostly cleared. And that's just because of my professional life and just how the reads work.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff on the short term, like that's all they're after. Is just that initial pop, or we're gonna work off this pivot. They might work off that pivot 3 or 4 times, but you can't. I wouldn't really use my note to try to do that. You study it yourself, and you kind of figure it out, and I can help you. But if you're wanting to trade at noon, if lunchtime's your time to trade, that's not what my notes are about. So I would just people should be careful about that.
Would
And
would
overall, there's just so much safe stuff. There's this
yeah.
park and wait thing. I mean, the boxing gloves, like that's where your main focus should be. And if you want to have some fun with the options, treat it that way. And I think that you'll be fine.
Hey, go find the golf emoji that's bagged in the room for me, please.
Right. Yeah.
Please. Would you say, kind of devil's advocate, or looking for the bright side? Would you say that because we're kind of saying that shares are a little safer, longevity in the shares. Would you say if you missed a move, um, I guess let's just use like plug this last week, that it would be better to play an option on something that's kind of already ran that you're unsure on the share
Yes.
side, as long as you had reasonable expectations?
Yeah, no, 100%. And
Okay.
and a lot of I mean, every all-time high read like is better option side for the
Oh
most
yeah, I
part.
won't mess with those at all. I literally just say just follow the flow. Like, I've seen them
Yeah.
continue, but I'm not going to tell someone to enter. That's not on the level. And even lately, I've I don't know if you caught it. Well, definitely in the next session. Like, I've told myself for a long time, don't put the daily volume profile numbers in there because they switch. I mean, they can switch with high volume on one day because it's only a 20-day read. Um,
Yeah.
this little line right here, 750 on Lily. This little line right here, 755 on Lily. Like, that can switch so quick. So I don't like to post them, but I have started to post them with all time highs because it's all I have, and I've seen it enough to where that kind of is the level you would need. Um, In 6 months, though, don't go back and hold me to daily volume profile numbers.
Yeah, and so like MSTR is a good recent example. For me that there was a moment for shares very quick. It was under 300, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grab shares here, and then now, all right, now we're right back to the option pivot stuff, the 317, 334, 370 above. So we're in this middle of this huge zone. It moves quickly through there, both directions. That's all options. And I mean, why would I buy a share of MSTR for $350? I can't think of a good reason to do that. Given where I look at that chart, I see those pivots, I see where it's been, and
Why?
yes, it can go pop to 400, but I just had it under 300, so
Yeah. That's
buy
my
it then.
question. Why aren't you buying the 300 psych and taking the $200 or $300 out of it on 10 shares? That would be my question. Like critiquing.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna risk all or nothing.
Oh,
with
if
an
I know it's
option,
going to go back down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you could
I
probably get
I
out. You
sell
probably
most
can
of
get
them.
out even on your shares if you play a 300 psych in this current situation. You probably get out even on your shares. If that option flushes at all, you're fucked.
Right. Well, you have
Like,
to be hedged,
yeah,
which
if it
means
doesn't go your way, yeah.
you have to put up $600 or $700 that you hope fails, and you don't let it go to zero. Not that they do. The out of the money stuff maintains its value pretty well on MSTR because of the demand for it.
Hmm.
So, but you want that hedge to go down 50% because that means your calls
Sure,
went up
sure, sure, sure,
75%, and you have more in the calls, and they have more time, and so yeah. But this, I posted an article the other day. I post some weird stuff and analogies, I know,
Love it.
but
No, I love it.
it was,
I love
it
it.
was it's called Football Red, Baseball Green, and it's my favorite article about sports. I teach it all the time. My students probably get sick of it, but I mean, interestingly, it explains why I like baseball so much. Um, and it also explains why I trade options, even though options are the football side, because it's like it's action, it's intense. There's time, the clock compresses everything, right? And so you are up against it. Um, Baseball is shares. You kind of survey the field, you go off, get a beer. It's pastoral.
Oh
It's kind of
yes,
like,
yeah.
and so it's the authentic market, right? And derivatives are chaos and just impact and all of that. So the so you have to consider it that way. I'm if you're just like locked into a football game, you kind of don't you can't really pull yourself away except during the scheduled breaks, the market's closed or whatever. But like the baseball, you know, I get up and go get a beer most times during a baseball game. And there's a few moments where it's like, we're tied and there's base runners on or whatever, but it's more relaxed to the atmosphere, and you can approach it that way. So trading, the people I and we it's been a long time since we had someone in the room who did this, but buy a bunch of weekly options and go to a meeting. I mean, that's a lesson you learn once. You should only need to learn once, but you can't do that. So time is a factor in what it does to you. Definitely has to be considered with options.
Yeah, it's one thing I fought and actually posted a note this week in my room. Like I try or in my page. Like I hope it's obvious to you guys, but I'm gonna say it. Like I try to be a week or two early. Like so, if
Yeah,
you're looking for like Monday morning stuff, if you want Monday morning stuff, you really should just hit me up Friday and say, hey, what are you looking at for next week? Because I do take some chances at that, but for the most part, you have to understand what advantage you have. And I like that football baseball analogy, especially if you can look at options like their individual plays, right? Like either
yeah,
you gain a
yep,
yard or you gain 2 yards, and it's not coming back. The down's over.
right,
You got to move on to another
yep.
play. Like that really resonates with me there. Before I forget it, you got the screen up? Can you see?
Yeah,
I said it a few weeks ago. You still see it?
Oh yeah, I see it.
50
I see
is
it.
really important here. And the reason I bring it up is to kind of transition a little bit. I don't really fucking care about the 50 or the 200, but some old white guys that have a lot of money do. So I pay
Yeah.
attention when the stock respects it. And it's another thing I feel like I just have to say so people understand that, like, I don't really like a lot of companies. All stocks are shit. I think I've said that a couple times.
Yeah.
Maybe I like a stock, just maybe, because of how it reacts to the RTL, how it reacts to pre-market high, pre-market low, yesterday high and low, and then historical volume profile levels. Maybe that's why I like the stock. I don't know. What do you think,
Yeah.
Pete?
Yeah. No, no, I got you. I mean, and something you said that if they're selling the pieces of the company on the open market,
Yeah,
right? That in and of itself says something about it, right? That to do that to raise money instead of just whatever it is your company does. When yeah, I mean, if you could, you shouldn't need to do that, right? I mean, but we're a whole like Wall Street. We've talked about this. Wall Street is America, and that um, is so tied into who we are and what we are, and it's why flipping bearish is so hard. Um, it just won't last. There's just too much, there's too much behind it. Um, so stocks are shit, but you get a piece, and there's plenty of pieces out there to get. So that's what we're all about.
well, I mean, you have a couple different ways to go as a company. I think a lot of people just completely miss this. Like, all companies are not even close to all companies are public traded. Like,
Yeah. Oh
not at
yeah.
all, not at all. But
Right.
to you have a couple options when you need money, and I'll use the cream of the crop, Tesla. Like, when Musk started Tesla, he wasn't as rich as he was. He needed money, and after PayPal, he did not want partners, because that's, I mean, venture capitalist or selling it that way is a way to do it. But if you think you're actually going to make it to the, you understand distribution, you understand your whole thing, and you take a gamble on yourself, you're going to still have those people to deal with when you get to the other side.
Yeah.
Going public for Elon made him deal with the public. So he can buy back or sell pieces of that company at any point in time. It's a gamble for them. In a good company, normally you won't see them do that. But if it is, it's because they need money. I mean, that's pretty much the origin of the stock market. It's a loan against your company, just in a broader scale. And it's just good to keep that in mind when, like, with the, you posted about it with the Rigetti and the Qs,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
their
Yeah.
office building, right? Like,
Right. Right.
like, yeah, if that was some nuts and bolts thing, that would have a bad look. But AI is an idea, so all you need is a garage, just like, Apple. That's all you need is
Yeah.
an idea. If you're
Right.
trying to do a home computer, all you need is a garage. So,
Yeah, and
um,
it just is a perfect example of confirmation bias to me. So like you see a building like that, just a normal office park. And where I work and live, like the defense is huge. It's one of the
yeah,
most
yeah,
important Air Force bases in the countries right across from my campus. And all along there's a business park, and there's, Rolls-Royce makes engines, and then there's all these little subcontractors. Um, and it just looks like, nothing, right? There's hundreds of millions of dollars going through those companies. Like, I mean, it's not about, they don't have a big, resort headquarters like Facebook or something like that. But there's some major dollars going through there, and it's so you can't really judge it by that. You can't. So you take the company that gives lattes to their email workers and say, "Oh, this is a bubble. It's all going to crash." And then you take just the little office park that is generating all of this investment and capital and all of this, and they have 5 years cash on hand, and you say, "Oh, that's a scam." I mean, it's just like whatever it is to say something's bearish, you're
sure.
gonna say that, and it's just not a thesis, not a thesis. I don't see any Flow or TA in posting a picture of Rigetti's headquarters, and I, you want to short it,
Go ahead.
whatever.
Yeah, go ahead.
Someone will be able to short it. It won't be you. That's what I always say about this. And the same with SMCI. The people who had the idea to short it at 400, it went to 1200. You can't now spike the football that it split and went to $22 again. You missed it. I mean, there's no way. Like, you 400 to 1200 to 22 or 200. I mean, it's where's the entry there? It's the momentum scalp at best on its way down. Not some big home run thesis as a short. So
Yeah, it's
those guys are fun.
interesting. We used to say a little bit more like, well, for me, I use Twitter not to trade, but when they start talking, it's an exit, or when they're super bearish on something after it's fell, that's your entry.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember the last time we suggested Rigetti from our dollar entry, but I mean, it's so delayed now. Like, it's so delayed for them that it's almost like they're not even trying.
yeah. I mean, it's like when a stock becomes a big punchline, I start to get interested. Now I still have to have the flow there,
Sure.
but I might look into it more. Like, so Hims, I don't know, round 2, 3, 4, however many times we've done it. That was like that, where it's this big joke. Duolingo,
Getting there.
I did great on that on the first move up, right? And then I've gotten back into it. The flow is there, but everybody's saying it's going to zero because because Apple earbuds will
Earbuds,
translate
yep.
for you.
Yep.
That's not what Duolingo is. It's gamification of learning a language. And, it's the little owl harassing you to do your Spanish. And it's not even really about fluency. It's just it's an app, it's a game. It's in the shitty app pile. And it just happens to be one that has a float and flow setup that can make some massive moves. So yeah.
Um, kind
One,
no, go ahead. Go ahead. No,
go ahead.
Go. No, fine. Go ahead.
I wanted to get into the free shares conversation. And I mean, if you're so if from the option side, if I'm in like a free option, the moon or zero, not really zero, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm just gonna let this one. I'm gonna give it some breathing room. Um, I don't. I'm not, though, looking to really re-enter that while that free one's playing out. I mean, I could have been scalping LLY the whole time that last contract was going, but as it pops to close to $4,000, and I'm looking for the exit at that point, I'm not then buying a bunch of $700 contracts while that one's going on. So on the share side, if you have free shares, um, given the moves that some of these stocks make, like, would you average up? Like, let's say it's an $8 stock when you bought it, and now it's 14. You got free shares.
What's the thesis?
Let's say the flow.
Let's just throw it out there.
20,
Let's just fuck it. Let's just throw it out there. Say lack.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just throw that out there.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up. Sorry, people. This one's free, but so yeah, I just this confirmation off of 7. I'm adding and trading, but I'm also I think what you're missing, there'll be eye opener, is I'm just trying to accumulate more free shares. So let's say I put $700 in there, right? And we move $1. I'm just trying to stack more free shares. I wouldn't keep the whole core position at 7. I would have tried to on the way up, which this one I did not do a good job. I would have tried to not like take the extra scales on the way out, on the way up when we got to 7. The real play though for me was buying that 450 dip, which I called in the room. I was like, here's your number today, pre-market low, and it just looked like it was going to get some relief. I didn't catch it Friday, which it kind of did the same thing off of 7. But no, I'll replay those levels, but that's kind of quick in, quick out. And that's even quick out for me, P, like if I don't hit a target. Like, let's say it's 7 and I buy this at 7 and like Thursday it just doesn't look right. I buy it Monday at 7, like Thursday it's just not looking good, and I'm going like 680 to 710. I'm just getting out. We'll just reset it. We'll come back. We'll go get a beer, baseball analogy, right? And we'll come back and
Yeah, yeah,
reassess
yeah.
that. We'll come back and reassess that later. Um, so I mean, that's a good
I like.
example of one I would average up on. Next, I would go. And a lot of times, it's more like I'm gonna go all in here again, no matter what. But I need to not miss going out of this channel because when something's gonna go 7 to 12, I want a piece of that just as much. So it's still kind of stock specific. Um, yeah, but quick I think is what you're missing. It's not like, hey, let's get back in this trade and let's swing trade it from here again. That's usually not a thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that quick momentum. I'm looking for that another boner candle to stack with that last boner candle. So
So
to speak.
that makes sense, and it's see that's an element of smalls I don't do like, and um basically it comes down to just the mental capital of where my focus is going to be.
Yeah,
So I like on a small, I like to pile in for a big move I see, and I'll hold a if it's part of a big story, hold a lot more of it. Silver, gold, quantum, um, lithium falls in that category these days. If it's like open or a weed stock or something like that, I I just sell most of it and then we'll hold some. I like having some Tilray under $1,
yeah, no,
and
100%.
I'm
Because
just
there's a
going to
long
keep
term
that.
thesis there.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I mean, like so hopping back in and day trading um one of these big idea smalls. Uh,
Oh, open.
I'm starting to see how I could do that, but like I kind of I don't want to devote the that extra time
You
to.
should.
Okay.
Sorry. Um, Open's a good example, P, of what I said on the bad side. So, like, did Open not hit 701 perfectly? You can see it there like a
Yeah.
week ago. Um,
Yep.
if I would have got that and bought that, like had that set up to buy that, I would have definitely been out either on that first move. I mean, if I would have got the floor, definitely that first move. But if it just would have consolidated like that without that first move, I'm definitely just walking away and letting it reset up. You're kind of looking for the continuation. You're letting the runner run. That's the share side equivalent of letting the runner run. It's got to be running.
Yes.
It,
And
Because
I
if
think
you
this is
don't, you have sorry. If you don't, I mean, look at my 1 hour chart right here. I have what, $6 right here on open, and then we just don't have shit. I mean, that can retrace that zone to the downside, fill the gap the other way real quick. I mean, if 7 breaks loose, you're probably at 6 instantly, and
right.
that's
And
just
these are the setups that turn someone into a conspiracy theorist. And that's what happened with AMC and all of them.
yeah,
The
that's a good call.
but yeah, I mean the open I do see it like 17 to 22 is possible. Just depending on
What
what
I
happens.
don't like about that statement that most people have a mindset of,
Yeah.
I want open to flush at this point. I do have free shares.
Sure.
There is a stop loss in
Yeah.
place on those, but I want it to go all the way back down. I would
Well,
rather
well, when
some
I say it's possible, it's like I don't know, 1 in 10 chance or something, given its current makeup, right? I mean, the flow is out there, but you have to understand how well whales did already,
yeah.
right?
Well, that's probably
Free money.
projection flow too. It's probably
Yes.
they're going to rotate to play the other side to put a lid on it, and they're going to protect
And
themselves.
and it's also it's a crowded trade now. It
Yes.
wasn't when we brought it up, and so it's like that's like implied volatility. You want to buy it low and sell into it as it's going up. Well, the IV is peaking now, so there's more risk entering, even share side. The shares behave like options right now. I mean, that's something to think about too.
Nice.
So you have to treat it that way if you're gonna if you're gonna go back in. But yeah, I mean, so an example for me, the small cap AI stuff, the ones that go, from 4 to 12, and then back to 8. If you got it at 4, like, please don't get bagged on that stuff. I mean, I don't know, like, it's because I keep bringing them up because the range is there and the flow setups are there. But I mean, honestly, like for me, this is your perfect example. RZLV and all them, better option side. It's much less. You're putting less capital into it, and I lost $20. Oh darn. But that it might go 20 to 150 if that flow pans out. So you just I should rather be in that than piling back into shares when we haven't really built up here that well. So I'm going to try to do a better job of talking risk with some of these flow setups, and highlighting it when you bring it up, and just being a little more strict on that. I don't like to see people go back into a winner and lose on it, basically.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you on that. Or someone chasing because the little FOMO catches in. Looks good to me.
Yeah. Right.
I want to touch one more RTL thing before we go to the boring stuff. Gonna ask you, just give me a stock so it doesn't seem like I'm cherry picking. I don't care what it is.
AG.
Perfect. That'll work. All right, RTL pre-market high, pre-market low, yesterday low, previous day high. Can you look at that and see why it's important, P, or should I have to go in depth and explain it?
No, I can see. I mean, especially the where it fades, the pop and fade
Yeah.
thing.
So just write this shit down for me, everybody, because we randomly pulled it, so I'm gonna touch the points that I find important here. But my 30-day volume average is right here. It's 100%. It missed by what? 100K? Nah, maybe 20K from being perfect from the 30-day average. That is not you in control, people. Just
Yeah.
understand that we are looking for a lot of volume, more than they can handle, to move out of the price range. So we're always going to be looking for. Pre-market, you can see their control with the levels. They didn't let it go above the high yesterday. They didn't let it go below their pre-market low. It's totally controlled. The secondary so pay attention to those levels, please. Please, please, please stay attention to those levels. Ask, but you'll see stocks react to them. And the main reason I'm kind of hounding right now is I want to have a conversation with you about 7:30. And me and Goose used to point it out all the time, but it's back. Secondary moves are safer. That's where that came from. But there is just that big opening first hour kind of volatility. And then we're checking down back into a controlled environment at about 7:30, retracing range, staying inside the box on a lot of things. Unless they get volume around news, then we do check out. You noticing anything like that on your side?
Well, so the bid ask will inverse, right? So like the bid side flow, flips to ask. For me, it's I guess 9:30 Central.
Yeah, 7:30
You
West.
just
7:30 West.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's where yeah. So that's honestly that's a secondary spot I look to get into stuff. I mean, usually that's where the whatever trade I'm in, that's when it ends, right? And so if I want to get back in, I can. It depends on what it is. If it's a flush to pivot I like, then I'm more likely to get back in than if it's the top of something. But yeah, I mean that's a big algo reshuffling that seems to happen on the option side right around that time. Sometimes it gets pushed 45 minutes later, but yes, yeah, every day.
So for shares, if you don't like playing the open on shares, which I'm with you guys, I like to either buy pre-market or have an order in right away, and if you get that wick, cool. If not, that 7:30 is better, and it's been so good for my career that someone in our room changed their goddamn name. The secondary moves are safer because they figured that out when I used to preach it a lot more. Um, but the RTL part of it for me, if I can get pre-market low at 7:30, I love that. And then you have like checks along the way. We got to make it back to pre-market high. We got to make it to the high a day, and then you can. For me, I can watch level 2 around those levels. Um, So a lot of times when stocks start to fade, that's how. It's not that I'm like a savant or something. It's I'm seeing it stop on a pre-market or a previous day level. Um, yeah. So
So
I need to start preaching that a little more because it's so important, and just a little thing I think will change one or two games in our room.
yeah, and that so follow up to that, and then I'll get to the boring
Yes, sir.
stuff.
Sorry.
So mechanically, what is happening when a stock can't punch through? Like it's basically like resistance. What is resistance mechanically?
A
In
lot. There's a lot of shares just fucking sitting there. Someone's trying to sell. It's just but
okay,
there's a
yeah,
like a yeah, I don't know how to put the box of apples is big. Like, have you ever seen the egg one where the dude is like $3 for eggs and $4 for eggs, and then he buys the dude's eggs, and then he changes the sign to like $8? That's just
so
the
yeah,
eight.
right,
That's just the $8 guy on the day, right? Like they bought.
yeah,
I hate to bring up old shit, but they got Carlos's SSOC shares, and they're like, all right, we're gonna keep it
yeah.
here. We're done for the day, because that's who it is. It's not retail. There's no way it's retail. It's just that controlled, like, until we get rid of this inventory because we have too much, or it's it's reached the price that we want. I don't know their fucking reason, nor do I care. But I know they
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
basket sitting there that they are going to completely get rid of, and it's a pretty big basket. And that's
So
like,
it's a they can't chew through those big sell orders at that spot, basically. Like that
yeah, that,
every time you pop against it, you sell off another block of them, but there's still a shitload of them left, and there
yes.
aren't enough buyers to eat them up quick enough to push it higher.
The
Okay,
minnows, the sharks, the squid, the marlin cannot get around that fucking whale.
okay,
Does
yeah.
that make sense?
Oh, that does. That does.
I mean, the best case is you have two whales fighting, and you'll see that, right? That's
Right.
fun. That's real fun when you have two block orders and they're like, well, it's real fun when they're a tradable range. But sometimes you get it to where you can see the guy on the bottom, like, I'll buy at 5, I'll buy at 510, I'll buy at 520, and you can just see him winning, pushing that other guy up all day. He'll buy
And
more than
I
the other guy
think
will sell.
that moment then also um, matches up to the bid side calls like that are going to be right at that a strike right
Yeah,
by that
because
spot.
what do you do when you're in trouble? You buy insurance.
And you know, and honestly too, I mean, especially with the FOMO on some of these candles, like that's the perfect time to sell a call. You know, you sell a call at a wick like that, and at a resistance spot, and a lot the people buying those aren't thinking in those terms. They're just thinking like, I want to catch this candle, and I'm going to catch, the next one, and whatever. But yeah, that
Yeah,
makes perfect sense.
that's where my cover call like thing comes in when you because you occasionally hear me like just shut up and sell a call against it. It's because I kind of see the
Yeah,
consolidation coming between the fight for a while. Like we're not going to leave here for a while, so go ahead. And
yeah,
again, it's not perfect science, but you just pick up on little things like that, and you see it over and over again, and you just learn how to attack them. Instead of asking why did they manipulation? Why did they? No. What do I do
right,
next time? What do I do next time to benefit myself? And that's where as soon as you exit a trade, plan your next one. Like
yeah,
don't sit there and look at the chart and FOMO. Plan the next setup. If it's not a yes, if it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. I'll break them all out today for
yeah.
you. All right, let's get boring. What do you got? Copper? Are we starting with
Uh,
copper?
I got look at copper mid candle. This is what we talked about.
Yeah.
So
I'm up
yeah,
30
so
I'm
here
up
we are.
30% on that one now, P.
And this right, right. So that yeah, so the plan for copper was to catch some of them into this move and get to this spot. Um, but this is also kind of where copper sort of resets, restarts, and the new flow setup kicks in. So um, what it does around 5 is going to be important. Some consolidation around here would be fine. Could also pop to 550 from here. But if you're already in it, you're in a pretty good spot.
Mm-hmm. Don't do shit.
Yep. Um, silver, just the monster. I mean, I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Uh, what's a pullback look like even? I would have said 42 a while ago. Probably not even that though. It's 45 or something. But um, I don't know. I don't know how you enter. I don't know. You kind of you have to treat buying. It's like when I was buying Bitcoin. Like I started buying it at like 16, 18 on that drop, and just I was like, I'm just gonna keep buying it every week, every month, and I bought on the way up. That election pop, I got rid of most of it, and then went back in or whatever. So if you're still buying silver, I mean, I'd rather just buy the physical stuff. If you have the big silver thesis that it's going to go to $60, than to buy miners. You're in a whole different ball game there. So I don't know. Just enjoy what you have. I don't have entries up here.
Yeah, I not had not had FOMO, but I was big on the silver over the gold in last December when we talked about it, just on the chart level,
Yeah.
and uranium, and the gold was faster moving. I'm just gonna be 100% honest, and I didn't get a lot of it, but man, last like month and a half, my silver positions, they're catching up. They're catching up just
Yeah.
fine. So
Yeah.
it's just funny it worked out that way because that's in general who we are, right? And it just
Right. Right.
panned out that way in general. So yeah, I'm with you on the entry part. Um, enjoy it. I mean, I don't feel bad. I pounded AG and SA the beginning of the year, and a couple miners as well. So y'all should have some. Yeah, you should be on to the next one by now, or feeling real comfortable in your free shares.
Was the gold like the gold thesis that I had last year? Where does that rank in terms of market assessment since
One,
we've been doing this? You think so?
100%,
Yeah.
100%. Is it even fucking close? What I mean, oil was
I don't know.
good,
I mean,
but I don't think
yeah.
oil was as tradable as the
Right.
gold
Right.
and silver. And the gold had that too. It's going to be silver too. Gold's just going to be better. That was your angle. But no, you called I forget. I mean, it's 100% move in gold. Like that's just ridiculous. And it happened.
Yeah, I guess yeah. For it to be gold in particular doing that, I think yeah, right. Because
I,
quantum was good.
yeah, no, I'm
That
talking
that's
about a commodity.
oh yeah yeah
That's
yeah
that's ridiculous, P.
yeah
The stock, I wouldn't. Okay, I'll find you one this week. You want one? Um,
yeah
but but natural gas, corn, like your natural gas reach probably was the closest because we did see that going
right
into
right
that December. But we didn't have
yeah
you didn't throw out not $7 or $9. You just said this is going to be explosive. We're going to be able to trade it. Something's up. Gold, you threw out
yeah
a goddamn number on,
right.
and yeah, no. So one, great work, sir.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so then let's see. Speaking of oil, I natural gas probably in a little bit of a better spot than
Yeah.
oil on the chart to me. I don't really agree with the doom and gloom takes out there about oil collapsing from here, but I do think you would like to see it pop back up into the mid 60s, and if you can get in like a 64 to 72 area, that'd be better for those stocks. If it doesn't happen, you're just going to kind of be waiting longer. But I mean, Oxy's giving you another shot, so there's going to be some rereads in that sector, I guess. I'd say, um, but yeah, I hit a few stops on some green stuff in oil, so looking to set back up there.
I think I have one on the list this week. But
Yeah,
it's a sell. It's a how much do I keep? Read.
right,
Sorry.
sure, yeah. The a 10-year is
Perfect.
fine.
Perfect.
This is what you want. Yeah, so just keep an eye on that one. And
The same thing with that 10-year P is it's where we want it, but it didn't get there the way we wanted it. That hard drop.
yes,
But
right,
yeah,
right.
real safe. I like it.
And And then DXY again. I just keep an eye on it. If you get some big spike, it's probably going to stall some of your setups. So just be mindful of that. And the shutdown wreaks a little bit of havoc with it. So you're not going to get an authentic read on a lot of the bonds and dollar while the government is shut down.
Let's do that because I don't want to float over that. But
Yeah.
you're agreeing the longer it's bearish to be shut down, and we're gonna start seeing it the longer we're shut down.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shutdown pullback, similar to tariff pullback. Not in depth of the pullback, but in
Yeah.
it really isn't gonna fucking matter when you look at the year chart next year.
Yes, that part of it. Just slower. I still don't know that how many big trend days down we're gonna get. I just think the recoveries won't be. You won't have as many V's, right? So if you have kind of an ugly pre-market morning, let's say half a percent or something, you're gonna maybe close down 0.2. You're not gonna close up 0.4. So you're just not gonna get the ferocity of that recovery. Just too much uncertainty. Whale's not one to stick their neck out late in the year. So the timing of the time of year matters too. Market's going to slow down regardless into November.
Yes.
So that
perfect storm.
Be careful. Trade the stuff that doesn't care as much about it. There's plenty of smalls out there. So we're talking about some shitty app stocks we haven't talked about in a long time, and I don't think it's a coincidence. It's like we can move this. It doesn't. I don't really care about.
I showed you people how to use the search for plug. Same thing, man. If we ain't talked about something in 5 months and we're talking about it, pay attention.
Right. Yeah. So, I'm with you there. I will say though that so that the shutdown gave my crypto shot call a chance, where it otherwise would not have.
We would have been talking. We would have just had the conversation I said we're going to have. Yeah, I didn't take that into account.
I'd be talking like, do I,
116
am I
to
a buyer
120
at 98K? Like, I think it would have just actually, when the way MSTR fell, where the spot it was in, that was very precarious to pop down to 270, and then he couldn't do it. I saw him try to do it.
Change your chart, P.
Oh, to what? To Bitcoin?
Yeah, just go there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's that 108 spot. That little wick down to that. That was where I piled back in, but I wasn't like 100% confident that was going to work. But it turns out that it was into the shutdown, and that's why it did this. That's 100% the reason I think Bitcoin is where it is right now.
I'm with you.
So I kind of want to know, like, the 125, is that a spot to you for anything? I mean, because
my spot
had some trouble with it.
My spot's just this. Well, my spot was 120 with the gas fee. Remember that we've figured out. So 123 and whatever that gas fee is, but it's just like it's the tolerance we talked about. Let's bring that one into this conversation. The tolerance, right? I think 123 is the level. If you're asking me, that's just a little bit of a blow off of the top, right? Like, the froth and
so being above it is okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't think you're gonna. You need to flip 123, and a little wick above it or a couple wicks above it ain't it. It definitely ran a little hot. I mean, we made the last high, and I said that we probably make a lower high. So definitely ahead. The shutdown is something that's hard for me to gauge. Does this continue or not? It does. If we stay shut down, do we get this continued movement? That I just don't know. I don't know. What do you got?
I'm just sticking to the 132, but it's for a different reason than I had originally, planned on. It's like if I predict my team to win the division, and they do it, or actually, you know what? Here we go. Reds made the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
They made the playoffs because the Mets completely shit the bed and collapsed. It had
Yeah.
very little to do with what they were doing.
Yeah.
The team ahead of them did worse than them, right? And so, the Bitcoin thing, like I thought it was, federal government, a Trump pump round two. Like that's what I thought was going to happen. But it turns out it was just a kind of like, half-hearted flight to safety with the government shutdown. So I'll take it, but it's not it's not my idea.
Yeah.
But I'll still stick to my number.
The
And I
the
think that's where we top out
the
if we get there.
the more BlackRock, we talked about that, the more BlackRock and other people own, the slower these moves are going to start to become, or more controlled they're going to become.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
really take that into consideration.
Yes.
How many candles from when you first said it till it hits 132 are we gonna have, Pete? Sorry.
Okay, I'll say in the next 2 weeks.
2 more weeks. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I forgot where we were when we had that thesis. I think we were around 100, or had just confirmed 100, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken. And we've hit my level 3 times now.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I was tempted to say this week, but I'll give myself one extra week.
I didn't
Just
argue with you.
because
2 weeks. I like that. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to take some effort to punch through where we're at right now, but yeah, it could happen.
Sure.
I'm always mindful of, especially over the weekend, of Asia just dumping the hell out of this.
Yeah.
Tonight, we'll see what happens.
Again, it seems like they have that are getting that under control.
Yes, right. I think that's part of what the whole, BlackRock thing is, and by the way, it's been interesting this whole time that Coin has been the most durable of these setups. That it's not going to give back some of these. There's just too much. They're tied up in this. They're the custodian of all these big names, and so the crypto services idea from way back panned
Still
out so
hits.
well, and the miners, the ones that peel off as data centers, like they're the ones that are going to make it. And then lastly, the blockchain thing, the idea I have, that's like the trade for next year and next 3 years or whatever. We'll see how that materializes, but whoever can get involved with that, and it's actually probably like the PayPal's and Squares.
The blockchain reminded me of the cloud trades back in the day.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yep.
Spy?
Oh yeah. All right. Let's see what I got here. Oh, damn.
Setting up for that. I don't know from where, but we're setting up for that 660 flush, and people panicking, and I'm just gonna laugh.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's I mean, I've started looking at SQQQ more.
Okay.
And I mean, obviously that chart itself is a disaster. But given what it is, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Well, actually, I will say, let me call this up real quick because I nailed the top on this thing with an old pre-split level at 54, and it just died after that. And then it tried again at this 35.26. These are very old lines, right?
That's why they work. Sorry.
That's why they work. And then, once it broke down, as I've learned, when I've got nothing down here, and then I didn't, even when it was at 28, I didn't even see an attempt to take back my old level. So I just got the hell out, enjoyed the bull run, right? So I got nothing down here. That being said, you treat it like what you would get is you get like 16 to 20 or something is the flow setup is going to be a boxing glove at 16 and 20. And so I'm starting to look for that. Not that this in and of itself is very good to trade, but I do think that we start to see that. And I will say that so you've got within my flow here, you got this March 615 that is somewhat interesting to me. You still lack the big compliments. There's still just so much dead open interest on this that they didn't bother to really deal with. But yeah, so something's got to give. You got to see some 630 something like that popping up. But I'm very mindful of it. I think we're gonna see it. Ask me next week. I think it'll be in there.
The 615?
No, no, like 630.
Oh, okay, 630. Okay, I missed that part. Man, that's a ways down. I just said 660. People are panicking. I was thinking about the ETF
No,
a
but
little
it is.
bit. Those are
But it's for. It's like for March and May, so that
yeah.
it doesn't have to even hit that number. But
Well, let me go the SQQ. We kind of figured out a long time ago that they're used kind of as a support read because there's so many moving parts that if they're good, other places will be good. I don't want
yeah,
to divulge too much on that, but we used to follow
right,
all
right.
the ETFs for that reason pretty diligently and kind of figured out not super tradable most of the time. Maybe investor, but just monitor them for your own setups. 629.57 auto RTL on the daily. So that lines up really well. I think wasn't your 50 there too? No, 5,600. That's kind of been it, right? 630, 635. Auto RTL is this that's a script I wrote. That's an unbiased line. I kind of trust those more than my lines because my lines I had to make a decision and get it right, right? Like um,
Yeah,
I'm trying to carve something out where the auto RTL is a CNC machine, and if you guys don't know what that was, it's like a laser cut and gets it. The tolerance on that thing is perfect. It has to be within millimeters. Um, so that 630 when you line up with that I'm with you. Like, yeah, we don't have to go there, but it's a very key level, P. Um,
yes.
so for us, me, you, where should it go for that to be in the money? It's still the 640, 645, 647, right where the 50 on the daily's at.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And real quick, the what I was just talking about. So there's an OI wake up and pretty big potential for that. With you've got these like SQQQ 18 January, 20 December, 18 December, 16 November. Like so, there's they kept all these through all this drawdown in this particular one, and can do something with them before they expire. So have that opportunity, they're going to start to juice that, and you'll see something happen.
Yeah, it makes sense. Let's see where their heads at
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yep.
Still grinding up though. I don't want to make anyone think we're having a change this week. We're still kind of grinding up.
No, no, yeah, you're just changing some gears out and
How
recalibrating.
how many shutdown days before Spy pouts?
Um, oh, I think
Like, where do you got to get to?
it could happen like this week or next week because I mean, who's going to start missing paychecks, right? Those are those
Sure,
people paid by the month.
sure.
Um, there's going to start to be some pressure. Agencies run out of money, and um, yeah, no, I think it's soon, very soon.
I'm gonna go.
Especially given like what are they even debating? Like it's the GOP is just saying like we have nothing to negotiate. It's the Democrats' fault. So if you're the minority party, what do you do? Are you just going to capitulate and just give them what they want, or how do you even get them to come to the table? So I don't know. It's all theater, like I said, but I don't know what the next act of the play is given the current setup.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in like the 16-day range. So 2 weeks into that third week
Okay.
is where
Yeah.
I mean, if we can't solve it by then, I do think your head's in the right spot on the reasoning. Um,
Mhm.
I actually read the CR. It was 40 pages, and it's literally one side wants to just like keep the lights on, and the other side wants to put their stuff in that's prevalent right now, expiring. Um,
Yes. Right.
Yeah, so yeah, it could get ugly before. I mean, I don't see which side's gonna bend right now. Um, yeah, 16. That's my repeat.
Makes sense. And I will say that option setups die faster.
Yeah,
So we might both we actually we might both have the same idea. The options are going to pout before the stocks do, and so it's yeah, I think we're close to the same page there.
perfect. Are you ready to work?
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect. Like and subscribe. Link somewhere, people.